Hello, welcome. My name is Vicki Wallace. I am a quantum creator. I work within the energetic fields for helping other creators and visionaries who are wanting to maybe bring in deeper understanding with themselves, with their spiritual awareness, and create new direction in their life. Thank you for joining me. So let's take some deep breaths and come into our body. As we're doing that, I'm going to bring through some light language. Light language is just beautiful coding from different team members of mine, my quantum team. Your mental and emotional patterns within your body find calm and alignment, and for you to release whatever's aggravating you from a busy mind or clarity in the day. Recently, we have had planetary alignments, planets aligning in alignment with each other. So when that happens, as those of us that are vibrating at a higher frequency, we can be highly sensitive to information that we're not normally aware of, patterns and belief systems in us that get shown up and brought into our environment where we may be being triggered or thought we've dealt with something, and then all of a sudden we have got an influx of this mental story that's running through. So clearing away that and clearing our ego mind and our energetics within our bodies so that they flow clearly, we can feel more comfortable in our physical form as well as our mental and emotional being. Our mind is calmer, our body is more freer and alert, and we can be calmer with the ones that we love, which is at this time can be a bit challenging. I say with light. My husband and I have been married for many years. We've been together for 30 odd years. So there is definitely lots of stories there. I'm raising Natasha, my eldest daughter, who is 24, and she is an awakened being and learning how to build her business as a crystalline caster. And if you're familiar with me, my youngest daughter, Sasha, passed away February 23. So we're all dealing with grief. And when we go through these surges of energetic frequencies and alignments and so forth universally, we can seem to be like implode into ourselves as a family group or friends or networks. And sometimes we just need to step away, even if it is just a minute in the day for ourselves to then come back into the group. As I do the light language, you'll start to feel like polarities shift in how you are, your polar orientation is with gravitational pull, as well as whether you're sitting in more masculine, active mindset, or whether you're sitting in more feminine, more emotional feeling, softness and love or lack of love, or past stories and presence. For me, grieving Sasha, I'm thinking back to memories. Sometimes I'm held back, or sometimes I'm just running the guilt as a mother has. Sometimes I'm thinking ahead for what I'm wanting to work with Natasha or for Bruce for business. We're not isolated. There's so much of us that we filter for others that we don't always recognize. So taking time out in your day to just be and have a cup of tea and quieten yourself down is essential for allowing yourself to calm and find perspective in what it is that you want for the day, or what it is that you're working on for your project or your business or your life. One thing that's come through really strong for me today is cave space, which I'm familiar with. When I get challenged, I hibernate and disappear into my cave, shut the doors and don't want to see anyone, and I really go deep within me. And I do that within my ego self, but also with my team. So if we embody that energy of going deep within and deep within a cave space, if you're going to go there, make it pleasant. You might not have a pleasant mind to why you're going there, but once you're in there, you can create like an alchemical creation within your cave space. And you need like a physical space in your home, to head a care where you can isolate yourself away, or to go through a transcendental meditation and journey in. Or you can go for a walk in the forest and sit by a tree and just create this vibration of frequency around you that builds into the cave space. Hayalalala, okay. Quite often when I do that in nature, there's like this quiet hum, and then you shift into Gaia's frequency, and then the breeze will come up, and the birds will start to sing, and the insects and the little animals in the forest floor will start to come through Tarahiri as they become familiar with you, and they realize that you're not a danger to them, and you creating this vibration. You're choosing to be quiet. You're choosing to come into that deeper awareness of you, where you are not just your human. You're not just your mind or your story. You are a vessel of light and vibration and frequency, and that settles you down. It's like you run at a different hum that they are familiar with, or that they can be comfortable with, so they come out of the forest. It's really lovely. Haila ka te rehi ki te rehi ki te rakai te rakai. Haia la 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 kai te rehi ki te rakai. Okay. So closing your eyes, feeling yourself comfortable in your seat, and I've chatted for a bit, so you're familiar with your breath and your body. Haere ki te rakai. You're just going to walk down a path. Haia la 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 hachikatea. I prefer to use forest. So you're walking in a path in the forest, and you could go around a big cliff face, a big rock face. And as you go around into exploring the path further, you see an opening in the cave, and you go into the cave, Taliki, and it feels like the right place for you to be. It is cold because you're in the earth. Just quieten down, you feel that spiral of energy as we bring in the cave frequency. You feel like a holding around you, like your body is quite rock-like or solid as the rock beings are coming through, Tarihitigatira, holding you. So transcendental meditations, you start to feel the physiological flow on from my words and creations to be. So you will eventually go through the awareness of your physical human form into transcendental experience of being all and everything all at the same time. So your body will start to feel these experiences of you in the cave space, even though you're in your home or you're sitting by a tree, you're feeling the cave space come around you. You're being held and supported. As I put this blanket of frequency upon you, you will just soften your body vessel. The coding from this blanket will just filter through your skin into your body vessel and the different body layers. Yeah. You might want to curl up into a little ball and have this is upon you and around you, just really keeping you safe. And as you go safe and small in this hole, you've then got this now experience where actually you've got expansion. It's this different shift has happened, that you have just suddenly freed yourself Halakatereki, from the confines of this 3D limited reality to universal awareness and frequency and vibration. Hayalalahikitereki, you can now breathe properly. The chakra systems start to activate. Hayalalahakatereki, your life light. Tarihiriki. Talakai, tariki. So as all these different aspects of you and layers of you are being activated, we don't need to focus on them. We can just let them be. You don't need to be in doing and operating everything. Otherwise it can't do. You're letting your team, your cosmic team do it. The rock beings, the cave space, nature. Okay, so now you're in this cave space, and you could look back to that little tight bundle of person on the floor, and you will see yourself, but you are spirit energy, you are frequency energy, you're still you, you're still exploring the cave and seeing your body vessel there. But your physical form and your energetic layers have separated so you can have a cleaning, you can be cleansed, you can release the old and step into the new. But to do that, you needed to separate apart. The cave space. This is your team. If this wasn't right for you, it wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't be listening to this. So everything is okay. You are safe. Your body can be healed by this beautiful blanket, filtering the activations and the coding to heal the body. So, and your spirit essence, your spirit self can walk around and explore and just have the freedom to move around this cave, this quietness, this big that you're in the earth. So you've got such depth, and it's almost like you've got a depth of perspective to what you were experiencing before you came into this activation or transmission to now. It's suddenly what was bothering you is no longer bothering you. It's just shifted because your spirit, it's not relevant anymore. You are light. You are beautiful white light frequency having a human experience in that bodysuit. Separating out your light and your body so that you can have a greater perspective and you can recognize that ego story isn't the all and everything. What's happening in our head isn't always the truth. It's the reading of information to what we've experienced in our life to date and past lives for some. But it's not all and everything. All and everything is when it flows through your bodysuit to be whole and complete as the person that you are. Okay. So you are conscious as your person, as your human experience. You're not within your bodysuit and you are with your light. Me, myself, and I, my body, my mind, and my light. My body, my person, my light. Separated out, having an experience, having a conversation, allowing protection, allowing just ease to relax in the cave space. It's like having that back door to the brain where you fake it or you just trick it a little bit so that it can release the hold on something. That's all we're doing. It's like we're trying to trick your brain into releasing a pattern that you've been running that is no longer relevant. It isn't. So to do that, we've interrupted your full form of experience here as your human vessel to release, to clear, to open. And then in doing so, it can't hold on to that story. It can't hold on to those patterns. They have to separate because not all of you is holding it anymore. It's like your light is showing your person, your experience here as you. This is not always the truth. You get to change your reality. You get to decide what's right. And what's right is nature and frequency and life energy that is running through everybody and everything here in our experience without the interruption of ego, without the interruption of story or patterns that have been so in this cave space that you're quite comfortable within, you get to go here as a alchemical creation or a transcendental experience to interrupt an ongoing pattern that is holding you in a story or an experience in your life that you don't want to experience anymore. And like for me, I have lots of stories that pop up about Sasha's passing and prior past are there's a lot of just not nice stuff there. So I go into them deep and I go dark and the stories come up. But sometimes it's too much and I just go dark and I'm just in it. But at some stage, I will feel my team around me, my cosmic team of my guides and my beings that are always around me taking care of me, even though I don't know it. This is when you go into the cave space. This is when I go in there and I feel the hug of the cave. I feel that dense rock formation that Nothing is getting through that, but yet that rock formation is life. So you're still receiving love and light. It's just different. It's not human anymore. Hei laka te teke te rekia. It's more primal and pure because it's creator energy in the rock form, in the cave space, in the dirt floor. You can see out for me in this vision that I'm seeing right now, it's just the opening coming into the cave. But for you, it could be a beautiful opening over a ravine or a landscape. It could be underground with like a tunnel light coming through. So there's light coming through. There's the streams of the light flowing through the foliage. It could be stalagmites and stalactites from an ancient cave space. It could be a pool, a water, a river, stream, light in the cave space. You get to create it and experience it for whatever you're needing in the time that you enter the space. And each time you go into it, it's an alchemical creation, you add more of you into it. You become familiar with it. The energy of the cave and the cave beings and the rock beings are familiar to you. So they will welcome you in and provide love and care while you're in there so that you can separate from your bodysuit and have it taken care of while you replenish your person experience that you see yourself as with your light. And ego is what about me? I keep you safe. I do all the work for you. That's where the rock energies, the dragon energies, the strong, my cosmic team is quite strong and powerful. Like you don't want to mess with them. They come with a bit of oomph and fight, just like me. So your ego will be met with the layer that is there and it will come through and be taken care of. It's not like it's been dissed and it's like thrown aside. That doesn't happen because it needs, you need it to keep you safe and navigate life, but it doesn't get to override everything else with you. Care, ego, inner child, care, fun, joy, light. They have their spaces in the cave space. So what I do when I'm doing my alchemical creations is I create a space for my ego to be replenished with what it needs so that it can just sigh a relief of resolve and be okay, that it doesn't have to be on high alert, fright and flight, active protection of me. It knows I'm safe. It's met the team. It's familiar with the team. It knows that I'm going to be okay. And a child can have that breath of fresh air where she can just come forward and dance and play and create and be joyful, which is where Jofiel or different fairies or different beings will come through. There's so much that you get to create in this space. One freebie that I offer on my website, if you go to vickiwallace.net, and you will see the freebie button, Creating Your Sacred Space. So I run through all to do with deciding what room you want to create your sacred space with, and then going through the cleaning, the activating, the resetting, the clearing. And there's different meditations and guidance from a Gaia meditation, a body balance activation, an intention journal for what you're thankful for, and you're asking for what you want to receive. It's all packaged up in this free download. So that's a good thing to go to and to use as a resource so that you're actively doing something with your space. You're actively a part of it. You're not just quickly flicking in and deciding on something when spirit takes you or when ego lets you, that little brief pocket where ego's quiet and you suddenly get this burst of light running through you and then you don't support it. You're not accountable for building on that later on. A sacred space download is something that you can tap into and keep working on with your meditation spaces, or if you're a bringer of light, your office spaces at home or at work. And then it flows into these YouTube videos where we teach you how to activate and work with alchemical creations in transcendental journeying and healing your body and meeting yourself in these other layers so that you can cleanse and replenish and be still and be held and just take a break from the mind and the busyness in your life. Haila ka tere here ki tara kai tara hira kai lakai. Haia lala hakai tseri ki te lakai. So the rock beings and the rock energy have opened up your body vessel, and the blanket of light is now underneath it for you to walk back towards your body and be absorbers, me, myself, and I, as one light. Hei ki tere harakia. Hei alala hakai tere ki. And you beautifully fit back in your body vessel, whole and complete, clean, clear, aligned, and you'll feel more freer and activated through your vessel. Alakatera kai. Hayere kitarikia. Hikiderikia. So after, even now, if you would like to stand up and then just lift your heels off the ground a little bit and then just drop them down. So you get that vibration up through your coccyx, your central column. It's like vibrating up through the center of you. If you're holding your jaw, your shoulders, your breath, your knees, you won't get that full drop flow through because your joint systems will interrupt the flow. You're wanting to ground in all the activations and the changes that have happened within these last few minutes. And so you lift up, you're standing, you just rise your heels up and just drop. Thank you for joining me. If you want to work with me, I offer private sessions. Just click on the link below. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.